So yeah, thank you and welcome everyone who's here live and who will be watching the recording later. Yeah, today is the day to be how to be a calm parent. So obviously it's one of the top actually requests I get in terms of when parents come to me for coaching, for transformation. They say, how can I want to be a calm parent. I don't want to get upset and scream or whatever, react to my children in the way I have been. So, and what I'm going to touch on today is just a bit of a start off, but obviously it doesn't take a lot to become a calm parent, but it does take a few mindset shifts and some unlearning and sort of relearning. So I'm just going to touch on some of the basics today, and then also let you know how you can learn more about it and become a calm parent yourself, inshallah. So just a bit of about me. You know my name is Safia. I am full-time mom of 3 children. I do this parenting coaching and I home educate my children as well. I live in Reading in the UK, and all this came about 3 years ago, where I came across something called the psychological paradigm of the inside out understanding, which transformed my whole life and allowed me to be that calm parent I always wanted to be, and parent with ease, stress-free and peacefully, and make my children into my best companions. And so I made it my life's mission to share this with other parents as well. And I've trained with many different trainers and mentors and coaches by now, and it's become my life's mission to take at least one parent per household through this inside out transformation, because it actually only takes for one parent to take the initiative to be calm, and usually the others in the household follow too. And yeah, if you stick around till the end, I will share with you something I created, which is called the parenting calm recipe. So yeah, stick around till the end. I'll share that with you. So what will we cover today? You might have seen already when you signed up. So why children are never annoying and how to stay calm and cool-headed easily. Close the door, please, Isha. Discover that no one expectation you want to drop, the number one expectation you want to drop, and how to do it effortlessly and guilt-free. Uncover how we can raise emotionally intelligent children without all the having to convince them and hard teach them into how they should behave emotionally, or be intelligent about it. So how can I say that why children are never annoying? Why children are never annoying? Well, it's not like something I'm just putting out there, and I haven't actually experienced it myself. It's based on solid foundations and principles and experiences, and I'm gonna try to share it in the most simplest way possible. And obviously there will be time at the end to ask questions and get more clarification. So why do we even come out of a state of calm? Like, if we think about it, let's say you're sitting completely calm, and then your child drops a whole load of big paint on the floor, and now you think, oh my gosh, like that having that behavior, that action has the power to make you only feel annoyed. Like that's it. There's only one way to feel about a child dropping whatever, the glass at the table, the milk all over themselves, the paint pot on the floor, the whatever it is, like that seems to annoy us on a daily basis. And that's that belief that action, that behavior has the power to make us feel, let's say in this case, annoyed, is what takes us out of the state of calmness or control or whatever it is. And as long as we believe that our children have the power to annoy us, we're always going to be stuck, and we're going to lose our ability to stay calm very quickly. We're not even going to believe that we have that ability in the first place. Yeah, living like that is pretty much as if there is a red button on front of your chest, and every time your child does something annoying, that's it, that red button gets pressed, and you're going to feel annoyed. That's it. There is no other way to react. There doesn't seem to be a way to stay calm, because it looks like that, there's an action and there's your reaction. So how can we see, how do we make that mindset shift change, or what is that like missing link that our kids don't have the power to annoy us, to upset us, to make us angry, regardless of what they're doing, regardless of what their behavior is? How do we see that reality that it is not actually their behavior or whatever they're doing? There is only one missing link, one mindset shift, one insight that we need to have to come out of this misconception that keeps ruining sort of our calm, our state of calm and peace and love and everything else. Like, it's literally just one misunderstanding that keeps on coming up and like taking us out of this place of calm, and like it looks like it takes away our ability to stay calm. So I'm just today, because it's about how to be a calm parent, I'm gonna focus on that. So ready? So the simple mindset shift is that if you think annoyed, you will feel annoyed. And the fact is that a child, whatever behavior they're doing, whatever they've done, whatever they've not done, because that can also be annoying, or whatever if they're not listening, whatever they're doing, it's never their behavior or their action or whatever it is that has made you annoyed, or gives you that annoyed feeling in the first place. You have to think annoyed in order to feel annoyed. And this is something that if you've come across this, me talking about this the first time, you can like experiment this with yourself after today, after the class. Or it's like, if you're not going to think in an annoyed way about your child's behavior, you're not going to feel annoyed. So this is the only like sort of missing link. But yeah, so we had this power all along. We have, as we have to think about their behavior, we have to think about something in an annoyed way in order to feel annoyed. So if you're not going to think in an annoyed way about your child's behavior, you're not going to feel annoyed. So that's why I can say children are never annoying. It's not their behavior that's giving you the annoyed feeling, it's your own thinking. It's not possible to feel annoyed otherwise. If you're not thinking in an annoyed way, you won't feel annoyed. So if you even think about, like, let's say examples in the past, and really look closely, there must have been times where your child displayed the same behavior, but in one time you reacted in an annoyed way, in another time you didn't. You stayed calm. So what changed? It is your thinking in that moment that changed. You thought about the behavior one time in an annoyed way, and in another time you thought about it maybe you even thought it was funny, or it was just like nothing, or it was neutral, whatever it is. But this is literally, it sounds very simple, and it sounds like, oh, how is this gonna change my life? But it does. Like this one simple mindset shift, it has so many implications, that your child does not have the power to make you think or feel in a certain way. You have to think about the behavior, about it in a certain way in order to feel that. So yeah, it's think annoyed, feel annoyed. If you think happy, you feel happy. It's literally, that's what it is. Now, if you have the power to think and feel in any way about the behavior of a child, then it is not the child that is annoying, but your own thinking. So you're not, like, in a way, you're not being annoyed by the child, you're annoyed by your own thinking in the moment. This means that you have the ability to stay calm in any situation, as the child does not have the power to make you think and feel in any way. So it's obviously I don't have so much time today to explain everything around this, but the simple thing here is that the simple takeaway is that we give our kids we give them so much more control over us than they actually have. They don't have that ability to make us feel a certain way about their behavior or about whatever they're doing. And the more we see that, the calmer we will become, because now okay, yeah, I like sometimes we get stuck in these cycles that we very much react to the same behavior in the same way, and it looks like, oh, it must be the behavior that's annoying us, that's why we are reacting in the same way. But it's not. It's like almost become a pattern for us, like a fixed mindset that, oh, okay, if they behave like this, then I'll be annoyed. That's it. There's like no, we don't even take it any further. We don't even think about it, that okay, we actually have the choice not to react at all, to react in any other way we want, like to be just neutral about it, to stay calm. We all have those options. So that's just like a small snapshot, like a into, yeah, children are never annoying. It's our own thinking that we feel. Right. The next section, the other secret I wanted to share is like the discover the number one expectation you want to drop. So what is that number one expectation? Maybe you have your own ideas, and I'd love to hear about them afterwards as well. But from what I've noticed over time is that when we expect our children to react emotionally, specifically emotionally in a certain way, according to our made up or cultural expectations, we are always stuck. And I'll just give you a few examples. So, be happy when I take you out to the zoo or whatever. Like, it's like that sort of, expectation that when we do something for our children, they need to react in a certain way. They need to feel in a certain way in that moment. And if they're not, then that's it. Oh gosh, like again, I'm doing all this stuff for you and you not happy. Be grateful that I take you to the friend's house, football practice. Be happy that I spend all the time cooking this fancy dinner for you, but then you're still not happy or you don't want to eat it. It's like another classical, what's that face for? We just been on holiday and now you're like this again. So it's like thinking that we can somehow, the expectation that if we do a certain thing, again, it's like that if we do a certain thing, they're going to react in a certain way. It's like a fixed mindset again. It's not allowing the other person to actually have that freedom again to react in whatever way they can react, and or they have the freedom to react in any way. That's why we have this issue about like doing stuff for our children and they react to it differently. We take, like, let's say you take 3 of your kids to the zoo, 2 of them really enjoy the experience and they're happy and 1 is not. Why is that? It's because it was just either they were just having a bad day anyway and they couldn't really be there that day, couldn't be present that day, or it's just not their thing, or whatever it is. But the more we have this build up of certain expectations that, or in the moment we want them to be happy, they need to be happy, and then if they can't, there's that conflict that says, oh, why is that face again? Oh, you're so ungrateful. Oh, you're never happy. But if you look at, that's not true. It's like that perspective we have in that moment that keeps on ruining then our connection with our children, because they constantly try to live up to our expectations, but they can't, because they can't always control their emotions either, because they also, whatever they think, they're going to feel. So if they go to the zoo and they're having really unhappy thinking in that moment, and they can't change it, they can't just by our command be happy, then that's it, they're stuck. Now they're going to be told off for not being happy. So what happens when we have these expectations? Yeah, so just to be clear, I'm not saying not to teach our children gratitude or to have a good attitude. I like that saying, actually. Gratitude is the attitude, but it's knowing that they're not going to react in the same way, having that expectation that every time you take them to their friend's house, they need to be grateful. It's like, or they should be reacting in the same way. And when you come and pick them up, they should be all happy. Actually, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and whenever my daughter was at a play date yesterday, whenever I pick her up, I get a really grumpy face from her, because she doesn't want to go in that moment. She wants to stay with her friends. So if I like set myself up with this expectation that when I go and pick her up, she should say, oh, thank you, Mama, for taking me here, and which she also says, but not in that moment, because in that moment her thinking is like, I don't really want to go, and I'm gonna show my mom a grumpy face. But it doesn't bother me, because I know it's not like a permanent state. It's not her attitude that's the problem. It's just her thinking in that moment. Children really do live in the present moment, and if I make a big deal about it, yes, it'll become a big deal, and I can tell her off and like do well, like, oh, why you're being ungrateful? You should be happy that I took you there, and now you should be happy to come home. It's like all these expectations, but it's not. It's fine. She's sorry, I need not mute yet. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna change something here. So yeah, when we have a fixed expectation of how children are meant to react in a moment to the situations they're put in, we can't stay calm, because okay, I think I was muted there. Okay, but when we have very fixed expectation of how children are meant to react in the moment to situations they're put in, we can't stay calm, because we're thinking they need to be reacting in a certain way, and we're thinking that we're reacting to their not reacting to our expectations. It's like it becomes a mess, and I've experienced it, and I've come out of that now, so that's why I can share this with confidence, that this is really tangible. You can see tangible results with this shift in expectations. Yeah, well, it's hard work and loads of disappointment for us and for them, having these sort of expectations. instead, instead create a culture of gratitude and being happy yourself at home, but know that they can't react according to expectation all the time, and that is okay. So yes, of course, we want to create a culture of gratitude and being happy, but that also starts with us, having that expectation that our children should be happy, but we are running around with an unhappy face all day, and like we are unhappy about this and that, and we're not grateful for this and that. But then we tell our children, oh, you should be grateful, you should be happy. Like, it doesn't really sit well. So it's really about creating an environment of gratitude and happiness, but knowing that moment by moment, one moment we're always going to feel happy, but we're always not always going to feel sad either, or not always going to feel, we're going to go through all the different emotions throughout the day, but it's the overall picture that we really need to look at. It's not a reflection on you either, but just the fact that they're also feeling their thinking in the moment. So it's not like when I go and pick up my daughter and she's not happy to see me. It's not like, oh, I'm a bad mother and she doesn't want to see me, or, she'd rather stay at my friend's house because she's a better mother. It's none of that. It's just in that moment, her thinking is that I don't want to go home and I want to stay with my friends. I want to keep on having fun, and that's it. There's nothing more to it. They're feeling, they're thinking in the moment too. And sometimes they'll not be happy when you expect them to be. And sometimes they will. So it's literally, it sounds maybe, it's very simple, and it's true, it's very simple. But it just takes for us to have that willingness, that openness to adjust our expectations to, or maybe have none of those expectations, and unlearn some of those set patterns. But otherwise, it really makes your life so much better. When the less expectations we have, the better the life is. And I think that leads us on nicely to the last point I wanted to make today. So how do we raise then emotionally intelligent children? And emotionally intelligent, it's a word that's thrown around, and it means different things to different people, but I'm just gonna share a little bit of what I feel it is. First of all, we need to show emotional intelligence ourselves in order to raise children in that way. So if we, it goes back to the first point and the second point, that if we have that mindset shift of that, we have the 100% power over ourselves to react to outside situations the way we want to. And we show that to our children. That's raising emotionally intelligent children, because now they know that the outside world, their siblings, their friends, their schoolwork, whatever, that's not controlling their emotional state. It's their own thinking in the moment that is doing that. And it's actually just last week I found out that intelligent actually means to be able to read between the lines, which I thought was really, really revealing. So the original meaning in Latin actually means to read between the lines. And for me, emotional intelligence is just means that allowing other people their freedom to be. We're all born, with a free will, and often as parents we try to control our children like in ways that we don't actually can control. And that especially relates to emotions. Like, they should be happy, they should be not sad, they shouldn't be upset, they shouldn't feel like this, they shouldn't be like that. It's like so much shoulds. And the child just doesn't know what to feel and think sometimes probably anymore, because if I'm upset and mom will get upset and then I get, so it's like roller coaster that goes round and round. But it's like, allow your child to be upset without, you know, having them to be told off or anything. Like, they just, yeah, allow them to be upset and be there for them. It's like, often we think like if they're upset, it's like a bad reflection on us, but it's not. It's they just feeling upset in that moment. Allow them to be upset. That's what emotional intelligence is about. Allow them to cry and just be there for them, support as a supporting hand without getting upset yourself and trying to fix them. It's like, sometimes you be like, yes, of course we want to comfort them and console them, but often we actually more than that want to just fix it so we don't have, you know, have to deal with it, or we don't have to feel upset with them. So it's like, allow them to be and have their emotions and support them through it. Allow them to be just happy or sad for no reason at all, just because we have the ability to have the experience. Yeah, no pressure to feel any given way, but they're loved and cared for in all states of mind. So whether they're upset, happy, annoyed, whatever it is, like, they know that it's okay. They are still cared for and loved. Yeah, and that's what parenting is to me now, and that's what I work on every day, to be a better parent, or be a good, well, to be the parent I want to be, and allow my children to be as well. And yeah, so yeah, do you want to be the calmest parent in the neighborhood? So obviously today I just touched on, it is only the beginning, but these are very, very powerful concepts, and they do transform us. So if you want more help, then you book a you could book a free session with me where we create this vision for you, what kind of parent you want to be, and how do you want to go moving forward, what kind of mindset shifts do you want to go through, what are your challenges right now, and what is, either you want to, you know, improve your relationship with your kids, or maybe you already have a good relationship but you want to even take it to the next level. We only get to be parents once. I mean, yes, once we're parents all lifelong, but the foundations are set in the younger years. And but it doesn't mean that, you know, for older kids you can't change relationships too. It works both ways, actually. Create a 5-part effortless parenting plan that you can start to implement pretty much soon after the session. Get you renewed, re-energized, and inspired, the best parent that you can be. And there's a link to book that. I'm going to put it in the chat as well, so it's easy to access. And